All right, and we are back here on the GSMC football podcast. And for the final part of the show, we're going to talk about CBS releasing a list of the starter rankings going into Super Bowl 58. Number one is probably not surprising. It's obviously Patrick Mahomes, but they rank every starter. So we go down to like 46. It starts from 46 and then we work our way up. I'm not going to go that far down. We'll go into I'll say the top 20, I guess, top 21. 21, they got Rashee Rice. Obviously, had a good rookie season. Really came on strong in the second half of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they really needed him to because their receiving core just was kind of a mess. I actually did forget to mention, because they did interview Kadarius Toney. And I think I did bring this up, but he was saying how they kind of altered what was said on his Instagram Live, like he wasn't taking shots at the Chiefs. He was asked by, I think it was Michael Robinson was interviewing him, and he asked him, do you view yourself as the number one wide receiver in this league? And he's like, if I get the ball. Well, here's the thing. You've gotten the ball, but you've dropped it, and it's kind of led to interceptions. One of them was a pick six, which kind of led to you losing the first game of the regular season. Also, when Mahomes threw you a pass that was going to, get you into field goal range, and Harrison Butker was going to, kick a field goal to win the game for you, most likely, you dropped that as well. So, yeah, again, this is coming from a Giant fan, but, Kadarius Toney has shown flashes, but it's just he's always hurt, and especially this year, it's been rough. And on top of that, he also was responsible for lining up off sides. But again, whatever. So, Rashee Rice, though, has been their best receiver. He has been their best receiver. And, I think he'll have a big game here in the Super Bowl. But yeah, he was ranked at 21. Then you got Trey Smith, one of the Chiefs guards. Chiefs have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Kind of went through some changes because now you have Juwan Taylor and Donovan Smith now at the tackle positions. Because you did have Orlando Brown, who then went to the Bengals. But one thing Nick Bosa said is they like to they hold a lot. So we'll see if they get any holding calls in the Super Bowl. Then you got Trey Smith, one of their guards at 20. Then 19, you got Eric Armstead, now on the interior, rushing the passer. Again, he was a part of that Super Bowl team back in 2019 with the Niners. Then you got George Karlaftis, another defensive end for the Kansas City Chiefs at 18. Dre Greenlaw, they have at 17. The 49ers, one of the 49ers linebackers to go along with Fred Warner, who's a little higher on the list. Isaiah Pacheco at 16. Charvarius Ward is at 15. Their corner. And, listen, the secondary of the Niners, that's probably one of the weaknesses of the team. And but you know what, Charvarius Ward has had a good season, and he's going to have to come up big in this game here against the Chiefs. Also, you got L'Jarius Sneed, who's had a great year for the Chiefs. Their lockdown corner at 14. They actually have Brock Purdy at 13, which, maybe he was put, because I saw in the comments people were like, wow, he's that low. It's hard to argue with some of the players that are ahead of him. He is one of the quarterbacks that is playing in this game, so you would think he'd be a little bit higher, but they got him all the way down at 13. Then you got Creed Humphrey, the center of the Chiefs, who's been one of the best centers in the NFL ever since he's been drafted. After that Bucs Super Bowl, the Chiefs really prioritized rebuilding this offensive line. You drafted Creed Humphrey, you signed Joe Thuney, who actually I don't think is playing in the Super Bowl, which is a huge loss there. The Chiefs really did a great job fixing that offensive line. And you know what's crazy? They did that in one off season. Where you look at the Giants, it's taken them 10 plus years to try to fix it. And they finally got a left tackle, but they still got to work on the other positions on that line. But the Chiefs did it in like that. You get Joe Thuney, you get Orlando Brown, you draft Creed Humphrey, and you're great. You make it back to the AFC Championship game. although they did lose to the Bengals. But then the year after that, they made it to the Super Bowl, and now they're back in the Super Bowl again. Um, with the Giants, I mean, they still haven't been able to fix it. Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk are at 11 and 10 on this list. Again, again, it's hard because like a lot of these. Again, there's a lot of star players in this game. And I think for me, I'm more of an offensive guy, so maybe I'm just biased because I want to see them higher. But I can't argue with, some of these guys. You also got Trent McDuffie, another corner at 9. Again, this Chiefs secondary has been really good, and that was a weakness of their team for a while. But you know what? They've been able to fix it. And again, this defense has been really good this year, and he's been a part of that. So then at number 8, you got George Kittle. Again, like, I don't know. I just feel like, it's a matter of opinion. I feel like, this is not the end-all, be-all. You got Kittle at 8. So Fred Warner's at 7. Nick Bosa's at 6. Chris Jones is at 5. I don't know. I feel like Deebo Samuel should be in the top 10. Him being at 11, I feel like he should be in the top 10 somewhere. And then you got Travis Kelce at 4. You also have Trent Williams. He's at 3. The top 2 is Christian McCaffrey at 2. And then you got Patrick Mahomes at 1, which, again, I can't argue with. I think that's really the only one where I'm kind of just like, yeah, I'm fine with that. It's it's Patrick Mahomes. It's, the best quarterback in the NFL. So I can't really, argue with that. But, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. That's why I look at other people's lists, because I'll be honest, I don't like doing rankings. I really just don't like doing it because it's hard. You're right. Listen, they went out of their way to rank every starter in this game. I couldn't do that. This is from Pete Prisco on CBS. I can't rank all 46 starters. It's hard. Again, like top 10. Again, like it depends on what your I feel like it's like your preference. Like if you're a defensive guy or an offensive guy. Because I just feel like with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, they should be a little bit higher. Purdy should be a little bit higher. Even Pacheco, like at 16. Trent Williams you got in the top 3 just because he's, one of the best left tackles in the NFL. But it's hard. It really is difficult. But, yeah, so the top 10 is Ayuk, Trent McDuffie. Actually, you know what? I feel like Deebo should be higher than Ayuk. Because Deebo Samuel could, they got him lining up out of the backfield, and, he could do a lot of different things. But, again, it's a matter of opinion. I'd probably put Deebo over Ayuk. But, yeah, so you got Ayuk, McDuffie, Kittle, Warner, Bosa, Jones, Kelce, Williams, McCaffrey, Mahomes. That's the top 10 right there. You look at now, you go down a little bit further. You go past you go down the list. You got Lenore at 22. Another one of the 49ers corners. 23, Joshua Williams, another corner for the Chiefs. Javon Hargrave. How about Javon Hargrave? He was with the Eagles, then he's like, all right, I'm going to sign with the 49ers now. And now you're in back-to-back Super Bowls. Not bad for him. And then you got Nick Bolton at 25, Chase Young at 26. The way people have been talking about Chase Young, he should be even lower with the effort. He has 4 sacks since coming over in Week 10, but none in the playoffs. Just in the description here. And his run defense has been suspect. Yeah, I talked about it. The effort on the Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown. And Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator, he was really upset with the effort, in that game against the Lions. You cannot do that against the Chiefs, because now you got Isaiah Pacheco coming in, so you got to go up again. So it's not gonna get easier, So the effort's got to be there. You got Drew Tranquil, Justin Reed. Does he have the kickers on this list? No, he does not. I feel like you got to include the kickers on here. That's interesting. I mean, obviously you'd put Harrison Butker over Jake Moody, but that's also something else that I don't think really. Um, I mean, it definitely is talked about, but is the special teams, because Jake Moody, he's been shaky this year for the Niners, and Harrison Butker. I mean, he did not miss really this year, except when I really needed him to on Christmas. Um, what if the 49ers are driving to tie this game to make it go to have it go into overtime, and you got Jake Moody having to line up to kick a field goal? Are you going to have confidence he's going to make the kick? I mean, again, it depends on where it is, but even if it's within his range, like, are you going to have full confidence that he's going to make that kick? Because again, he's been shaky. I mean, they lost to the Browns earlier this year because he missed a couple of field goals. Again, he missed one in the Lions game. I don't know. Did he? I think he missed. Did he also miss in the Packers game too? I think he might have, or that might have just been Carlson. Because Carl. Well, I mean, we know Carl. Oh, and my dog just is going crazy now. Yeah. You know what? You know what's crazy? She's been good lately. We haven't had that problem. But yeah. Wait. Let me go back really quick. Oh, that scared me. Anyways, because what happens is she lays right outside my door, and of course, somebody comes home and she goes ballistic. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did miss a field goal against the Packers. But yeah, I mean, I'd be worried if I was a Niners fan when it comes to. I mean, I think Niners fans are worried, but yeah, I mean, you had Robbie Gould, who was a good kicker for you, and now you bring in Jake Moody, and he's been shaky. Let's see. Let's look at his stats. So he was. He had an 84%. His longest field goal was 57 yards. Okay. 21 to 25 on the season. Yeah, and he's a rookie kicker. I mean, we'll see. I mean, you're kicking on the biggest stage in the Super Bowl. We'll see. Yeah, he was 1 for 1 from 50 plus yards. He was 1 for 3 in the 40 to 49 yard range. So, and listen, if he's kicking if he's kicking from that range, it got to be a little nervous. I mean, Harrison Butker's automatic, pretty much. But that's just another little thing I wanted to touch upon. Is just the special teams. That's something that really hasn't been talked about because I don't trust that kicker. I really don't. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it with the show for today. Obviously, again, you got 3 more days to discuss this game. We'll come up with some other topics to discuss throughout the week. And Friday we'll preview the game, and then we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think about everything that was talked about today. I tried to jam in a lot of stuff. Obviously, the college football stuff, I did the best I could with trying to at least explain what's going on. Obviously, there's people out there more knowledgeable than me when it comes to college football. So obviously, if you have an opinion on it and you want to, comment on it, make sure to leave a comment. I'll make sure to have all the, the segments reposted later in the day. And make sure, and also the podcasts are on Spotify and Apple Music and wherever you get your podcasts as well. So if you want to listen to them, and go back and listen to some of the old shows, you can do that. Also, make sure to tune into our other podcasts as well. Not college basketball. The Andrew Tate cast, and the sports podcast. And we got some other ones coming out as well too, in the coming weeks. So make sure to look out for those. But yeah, we got a lot of content. It's not just me. You don't have to listen to just me or watch me. There's other shows now that you could tune into. Everybody does a great job. Again, I'm just happy it's not just me. Again, I was getting lonely, so it's nice to have other people, doing shows as well now. But yeah, no, it's been great. So with that is all the time that we have for today. I thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until then, I'm Kenneth Grunfelder signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.